Neurodiversity and gender. Are autistic people more likely to be gender diverse? Disclaimer: autistic is not a derogatory word. People who identify as a part of the neurodivergent community more likely to identify as autistic than people with autism, since autism is influencing their overall identity. If you want to know more about neurodiversity, check out our short introduction on neurodiversity we already listed below. A study conducted using 5 datasets together include 641,860 people, mostly adults. 30,892 have autism, and 3,777 identify as gender diverse. The majority of the data, from about 514,000 people, came from an online survey conducted as part of a 2017 British television documentary about autism. 3 of the other datasets also used online questionnaires. The 5th came from a population study that collected information through primary care providers and included an optional online survey about autism traits and gender-related options. About 30,000 or 5% of the cisgender people in the study have autism, the researchers found, whereas 895 or 24% of the gender-diverse people do. Gender-diverse people also report, on average, more traits associated with autism, such as sensory difficulties, pattern recognition skills, and lower rates of accurately understanding and responding to another person's emotional state, and they are 5 times as likely to suspect they have undiagnosed autism as cis people are. Based on one dataset of 1,803 people whose survey included this question. The findings were published in Nature Communications in August 2020. You might be asking, why autistic people have a higher tendency to be gender diverse? Before we jump into the possibilities, keep in mind that correlation doesn't equal causation. For example, people who drink water will die, but it doesn't mean that water causes death. It's because human as an organism has a limited frequency to regenerate. Drinking water is just a human need as a living organism. Just because people with autism more likely to be a transgender doesn't necessarily autism make people become transgender. The first possibility is that autistic people are less likely to be influenced by social rules. Autistic people also more likely to be ostracized by people around them, which makes them think, feel, and behave more independently outside the societal expectation. Autistic people also more likely to think that social rules are silly. But yeah, really, a lot of social rules are silly, aren't they? The second is transgender people more likely to do psychology and psychiatric assessment to know whether they have gender dysphoria. During the overall assessment process, they might also find out that they also on the autistic spectrum. Third, their neurological condition might also influence their gender identity, since gender identity coming mostly from the brain, which is why many people don't fit in with societal expectations based on what's below their pelvis. Autistic people's different minds might also take part in shaping their gender identity. These also have clinical implications to give the best help and support, especially for autistic gender diverse people. Nearly 70% of autistic gender diverse say they need gender-related medical care, and 32% of them have their gender identity has been questioned because they have autism. Many of their therapists denying their gender transition because they have autism, which is completely wrong. Hope it can help to open up a new subject, neurodiversity, that can be an intersection of human diversity, particularly with gender identity expression. If you just knew about this whole autistic and neurodiversity discussion, you can first check out our short introduction video to neurodiversity titled Neurodiversity in 3 Minutes. Want a more new discussion about neurodiversity and also cutting-edge humanity-related science? Subscribe to this channel, Biosciety, when science meets humanity. See you later!